first couple who started off this entire workshop. So let's give it a round of applause. We pulled the whole section. And they're going to do 2 performances. They're going to do a tango and a milonga, which they do really well. I'm going to do a quick introduction or reintroduction. We never did actually a full introduction of them. I will tell you this, that Gus is from Argentina originally, and he's lived here for a long time, for over 30 years. And he got into tango about 5 years ago. Didn't expect to, as many of us get into things that we never expect to in our lives. Was pulled into it by one of his bosses in a place, from his work. Got into it and realized just because that he was from Argentina didn't mean that he knew the tango, as he thought. And he actually began to learn it. And as he actually started to study it, he started to love it more and more and more. And a year ago, he was telling me that he met his dancing partner, Anna, or Anahid as we know her, and it's opened up his dancing even more. And that tells you about the importance of the right partnership, which is everything. And they are really lovely to watch on a dance floor together. So Gus is actually leaving us again after about 34 years here, I think. He's going back to Argentina because the tango has really brought him back home and brought him full circle to come back to it on a new level and really come back to his roots in many ways. So we wanted to have them back before he leaves and have them together because that's where they really fit best. And we wanted to have them perform, like I said, 2 numbers for you. Okay, I'm going to move on to Anahid. And I'm going to ask her, because she was just in Buenos Aires for, I think, almost 2 months? Yeah. Which is a long time. She really, really immersed herself in the tango as well, on a deeper level than ever. She had an unbelievable experience, and I wanted to ask her what her most memorable part of it was, or what you learned there, and what you can bring back to us, having gone into this more than ever.
But there are many memorable instances in Argentina that I could share, but I'd rather talk about, say a few words about how I saw tango in people's life, not people dancing tango in the store or on the street, but just how Argentine people could create this kind of dance, which is enormous in its feelings, its passion, its vocabulary, its thoughts, its intelligence. And I saw the symbol of Argentine person in the tango, which I experienced friendship with dancers here. But when I saw the people in Argentina, I lived the life with them in their city, I realized, I understood why we have a dance like this. Wow. I could say that that's the most major impact that I have had from my experience in Argentina.
So you saw the character come through, yes, which is where we get our tango from.
Exactly. Okay. And it's so contagious. Okay. And it's all over the world now. And I experienced, while there, we saw people from all over. In milongas, in regular nights, you go and you see Italian, German, Japanese, yes, Thais, Armenians, Russians, Romanians. The entire world is starting to immerse in this amazing dance. And that's because Argentinians produce that.
And it literally actually started from the melting pot, if you remember when we did the history of the Europeans and people from Southern Europe especially, but it started from what was a melting pot of different flavors. So that's why it's so open to that, so embracing of that. Okay, thank you, Anahid. Gus, do you want to add anything? I do have something to add about you.
Yes.
Okay, you don't. I did remember one very important thing that I wanted to add that Gus was telling me, which is that it changed his entire health. And physically, mentally, spiritually, energetically, it really opened up the doors for him in his life on all those different levels. He said that's the biggest thing that it's done for him. Can you imagine that? So tango really does change lives, especially when we connect to it and when we immerse ourselves into it on a serious level. When we fall in love with it, it really actually changes our lives. I know we all have stories about that.
Right.
Right? Okay, so without further ado, we are going to experience 2 beautiful dances by Gus and Anna. And do we have our music? Yes. Okay.